Hey y'all, welcome to Ad Bros, the advertising podcast hosted by, well, bros. I'm Corbin Surio,
I'm Evan Whitehead.
And I'm Jackson Perryman.
and we are the Ad Bros. Welcome to the third part in our 6-part podcast series. Today we'll be talking about advertising in sports games, especially Madden and 2K. Take it away.
So, the thing about sports games is that they exist in this kind of niche environment where so much of the atmosphere of the game is tied into making it as realistic and as close to the real sports stadium experience as possible. You know, part of that is that part of the problem with that is that sports and ads are already so deeply intertwined right now that like you can't go to a stadium and watch a basketball game without just having like, here's the State Farm halftime show, here's the Tostitos player of the game or whatever's going on. And it's even worse on when you watch a broadcast of
Taco Bell student section.
Yeah, exactly.
Gatorade sponsored timeout.
Exactly. And so, what you get with these games where people are basically the main demand from players who play these kind of like basketball or football games or soccer or
The video games, right? Not the real games.
Right. Yeah, the video games. Basically the demand is that you want it to be as close to the real thing as possible. You want to feel like you are a professional athlete in this environment. And so one of the things that they do is they try to mimic the broadcast of a video or of a basketball game in the video game. So the presentation of this game that you're playing, where you are the basketball player, is mimicked after a basketball broadcast to make you feel more immersed in the game. And so what comes with that is, the State Farm halftime show, the Tostitos, whatever, like all that stuff kind of
the
hits
ads
in the
around
face.
the court, like...
Yeah, exactly. But they're not just like doing this to make it more atmospheric. Each one of those ads that you see in the game was bought and paid for by the companies that are trying to sell you stuff. And I think that people are pretty much in agreement that that's okay when it's in the context of the actual presentation of a game that you're playing. But the problem that's started to crop up that's caused games like 2K and Madden to get really low user reviews lately is that, for example, like in the story mode of the 2K basketball game, and the story mode is kind of like the single player experience where your character is going through the process of becoming an NBA character. Mm-hmm. In that story mode process, it used to be in earlier games this really intimate experience where you make all these decisions as if you are a real basketball player, and the decisions like come from like what type of player you want to be, what kind of agent you want to sign with, what kind of brands you want to sign with. Yeah. And that third one is the troublesome one, because now they realize that they can frame these kind of advertisements as your specific created basketball player signing with those companies to sponsor them. Mm-hmm. And so, all these companies like Nike, Adidas, Puma, even I saw one time when I was playing this game, I saw just like a random Reese's Puffs box just sitting on the kitchen table of my in-game character's kitchen.
Yeah, so I mean, it's basically like virtual product placement too when it comes to that. You're walking around and you see this box of cereal, like, okay.
Yeah, and it just extends past the basketball environment of the game, and that is what ruins it for people. And it's becoming so egregious that in loading screens in Madden, one thing that they had to take out of the game because there was so much outrage about it was that when the game was loading, like literally generating the next environment for you to play in, and the computer was taking some time to process that information, they would plaster an ad that you can't like skip or close or anything like that for like progressive.
Yeah.
while you're playing a video game and you spent $60 on that game, and already people are mad because they haven't. Another complaint about these two games is that they don't change enough of the content from year to year because it comes out every year, like 2K17, 2K18, 2K19, 2K20, Madden 17, 18, 19, 20. And there's not that much you can change on a yearly basis in a sport that hasn't changed since like it was invented.
Yeah.
You know? And so they're already asking you to pay $60 a year for the video game, and you're supposed to pay $60 the next year for the pretty much the same game. But then they're putting these advertisements in it, and it's just I think it's the outrage is kind of indicative of how fed up the people that play these games are with the companies just trying to lazily make as much money as possible while doing almost no work to actually make the games as fun as possible.
Yeah, no, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, taking it back to the whole brand signing and all that with like Gatorade and all that, do you have incentives and in-game upgrades to be signing with like companies and brands like that?
Yeah, you do. Like, and well, for example, there are like power-ups and stuff that you get like from signing with Gatorade, and not to mention Gatorade's logo is plastered all over this game.
Oh yeah.
Because it's plastered all over the NBA broadcast in real life, you know. But you can buy like a Gatorade stamina pack in the game, and that will make your player be able to sprint for longer and stuff like that. And it's just kind of egregious and really lazy, but you know, I mean, it's effective, I guess.